Hello everyone, how you all doing? My name is Rafael and welcome to my channel. Today we're back on Division 2 with another build. This time I want to show you my personal favorite rifle build and also one of my favorite builds in general. I think it's a very powerful build. It's probably one of the most powerful. The rifles, both of them, both Diamondback and the classic M1A, hit like trucks. There's different time when you want to be using the Diamondback and there is another time when you want to be using the classic M1A. We're gonna get into that later. But back when Warlords of New York came out, everybody was running with a classic M1A as their primary. Now less people tend to use them, so in case you're a new player or you haven't heard about, the classic M1A and the Diamondback build, this video is for you. So let's get started with our starts. First of all, we have 55% critical hit chance and 172% critical hit damage on the classic M1A. On the Diamondback, we have 50% critical hit chance and 185 critical hit damage. This build is pretty good both for solo but also for group gameplay. As you can see in the background right now, I can even use it in legendary difficulty in a group and still do a lot of damage and still help my team survive. But since we're running the perfect glass cannon, you need to be a little careful. But overall, when you're in a group, you want to be using the classic M1A. When you're playing solo, Diamondback is going to be more helpful to you because the way Diamondback works, you need to hit specific targets in order to proc its talent. Let's go over its talent real quick. Agonizing Bite. Diamondback randomly marks an enemy. Hitting that enemy consumes the mark, guaranteeing a critical hit with damage amplified by 20%. After hitting a mark, all shots fired are guaranteed critical hits for 5 seconds. So basically, if we cannot get our mark, we cannot proc its talent. So the reason I like to use Diamondback when I'm playing solo is because nobody else is competing with me about who's gonna shoot that guy or if my teammates are gonna kill him before I even have a chance to shoot at him. A new random enemy is marked afterwards and whenever you reload. Classic M1A in group play also has almost double rate per fire. You can have 180 rounds per minute with the classic M1A, when with a Diamondback we can only have 100. So because there are more enemies, more people to shoot, I like to go with the classic M1A to not get overwhelmed when I'm in a group. But in a solo play, Diamondback works like a charm. So it does, of course, the classic M1A. As you can see here, we have rifle damage, critical hit damage, damage targets out of cover. Nowhere even close to having this bad boy maxed out, but still hits like a truck, as you will see later on from the gameplay. And we're having the boomerang talent. Critical hits have a 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If a bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot has plus 40% increased damage. Another great talent. In my opinion, it's the best talent you can use for rifles. Some other people use different ones, but I think that you should stick with this one if you can have it. Moving on to the pieces now. Of course, we have the Contractor's Claws simply for the damage to armor, 8% of that. Moving on, we have the Fox Sprayers for the 8% damage targets out of cover, plus 8% from here. We go all the way up to 16. Also, the Fox Sprayers will give us a 10% rifle damage, which we really want. We also have a Walker Harris piece for the 5% weapon damage, critical hit chance, critical hit damage rolled on the attributes. And then we have 3 Provident Defense pieces for the 15% headshot damage, 10% critical hit chance, and 15% critical hit damage. All our rolls are critical hit damage and critical hit chance, as you can see. On the chest piece, I'm going with the sacrifice one for the perfect glass cannon. However, you can go with Headhunter as well. Over here, I have the Chain Killer, the named Headhunter chest piece, which pretty much just increases the additional damage it does after getting a headshot. But overall, what does Headhunter do? After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of that killing blow's damage. Damage is capped at 800% of your weapon damage. This is raised to 1250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150. I don't think I have 150, no, I have 110, but you can fix that. But overall, you can go with the Headhunter talent here if you want to instead of the glass cannon. I'm not going with it because I'm not good at getting those headshots. I prefer to go with the perfect glass cannon, but if you go with headhunter, you will see much higher damage than I'm getting with the perfect glass cannon. However, that damage will not be consistent. Another great option here would be to go with focus and just put an 8x scope on your classic M1A if you want to. There are talents, there are chest talents that you can use here in order to get the best out of this build. Focus, glass cannon, headhunter. Choose what you prefer and go with it. Don't feel like you have to stick with what I'm showing you right now. This is just an option. You have a lot more than just the perfect glass cannon. Moving on to the last piece, of course, we have the gift backpack. Probably the best backpack in the game, or at least from the ones, that are not exotic ones. I'm not talking about Memento, of course, here, but we have the perfect vigilance. Increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 3 seconds. If you don't have the name backpack gift, you can use a provident defense backpack with vigilance, and perfect vigilance have only one small difference, and that's the time that it takes for the buff to reactivate again. On the perfect vigilance is 3 seconds. On the normal vigilance it's 4 seconds. So not a lot of, you're not losing too much there. But again, weapon damage, critical hit chance. Something else I want to show you as well. I'm using the sharpshooter specialist for the 15% increased headshot damage with rifles and marksman rifles. Of course, here we have the 15% increased rifle damage. Don't forget that, that's a nice little boost. And on my SHD watch, I have everything maxed out, so your stats, if you don't have everything maxed out as well, might look different than mine. So that's it pretty much. I hope that you liked the video. If you enjoyed it and if you found it helpful and you want to support me, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.